A lot to get through this evening. Thank you for joining us here at 6. I'm Fred Shropshire.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. Tonight, 2 construction workers are still unaccounted for after a massive fire broke out this morning at a construction site just blocks away from SouthPark Mall.
Dozens of firefighters from across the region came to battle the flames. 15 workers on the site were heroically rescued, one hurt but expected to be okay.
We want to take you to the live look that we have of the site. Right now, you can see that thick smoke has since dissipated. The massive flames we saw earlier today seem to be just about out from this vantage point at least, but we know that crews are still tending to the area.
Tonight at 6, we are bringing you full team coverage. WCNC Charlotte's Jane Monreal sharing what we know so far. Our Austin Walker speaking to neighbors who watched it all unfold before their eyes.
And as folks get in their cars to drive home from work this evening, we can tell you the aftermath is going to be felt on the roads. Our Julia Kaufman explaining the impacts to your drive in just a bit. But we do want to start tonight with Jane Monreal talking about what we've learned so far from fire officials. Jane.
All right, Vanessa and Fred, we've been here since about 9:30 this morning covering the fire. Calls went out really early on from neighbors, and in these buildings, you could see it's surrounded by all of these buildings. The one in question, you could see what's left of it completely charred. It stands several stories high, and from there, you could see how far the crane was positioned above the top of the structure. Luckily, that crane operator was rescued by the fire department. But again, tonight, 2 people are still missing. Witnesses on scene telling us they saw flames and smoke around 9 o'clock this morning. More than 90 Charlotte firefighters rushing to the scene of this building that is still under construction on Liberty Road. Breezy conditions also blowing embers and causing hot spots on surrounding properties. A construction worker on the ground level at the time telling us they had little time to escape.
They started screaming fire, so they told everybody to coming out. So for safety reasons, I made sure my guys, they were off and get out of the building as soon as we can.
We rescued 15 people from this fire, and the men and women of this department put themselves in harm's way and actually had to call for assistance themselves to get out of this fire. That's how fast it was moving.
That was Charlotte Fire Chief Reginald Johnson, who told us that fire burned at above 2,000 degrees, believe it or not. And he also did say that there was plenty of exposed wood to fuel those flames. Investigators remain on scene determining an exact cause of the fire. Live in SouthPark, Jane Monreal, WCNC Charlotte.
Yeah, things developed so quickly there on scene. Jane, thank you so much. You could see all this video here. Hundreds were outside this morning, catching it all on their phones, watching as the flames engulfed the work site. It was really a terrifying scene. Many wondering about the workers being rushed to safety.
WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker joins us live from SouthPark. Austin, those people say it was pure chaos.
Yeah, so hey guys, thankfully things have calmed down quite a bit, but that was not the case earlier today. Some, like you mentioned, calling it chaos. People were fleeing this area trying to get to safety. Seeing those workers leave the construction site said that it sent a chill down their spine because of how scary that moment was. They were all out here, about 100 people from these office buildings around us, just watching the flames grow, engulf that apartment complex, and ultimately cause a whole lot of problems right here. They say they've never seen anything like that, but thankfully, things have obviously calmed down quite a bit. The flames that were once there are gone. The smoke that was once here and heavy in this area have also dissipated, thankfully. But now people still wonder exactly what happened to this. Again, they say they were left speechless, honestly, watching as construction workers were ushered to safety. Now, all people say is left is the memory of this morning.
We saw multiple people, firefighters, trying to put it out and change the flame and a bunch of smoke.
It actually got a little bit worse around 9:30, 9:45. The flames got taller and taller, but as the wind picked up.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I see all these other gentlemen sitting out here that were probably over there, and I'm just hoping they and their friends and workers got out because, I mean, you could see the smoke all the way. When I was picking them up down in Dilworth, you could see it. We saw the firefighters down off East Boulevard racing over here. There's hundreds of cars in our neighborhood backed up.
Yeah, so earlier those flames stretched hundreds of feet into the air, but now you can see the flames are gone. Still Charlotte Fire on scene trying to get a handle on these hot spots that are still here. But we should also talk about air quality. We mentioned in those sound bites you just heard from those interviews that people said you could see that really thick black and gray smoke. You could really feel it. If you smelt it and you had it kind of in your lungs, it really sent a burning feeling in your chest and your throat and your nose. Officials tell us in CMPD as well as Charlotte Fire that if you're in this area, you're still advised to stay inside because air quality is still a very big concern. We will be monitoring this for the rest of the day, bringing the latest updates. But for now, we're live from SouthPark tonight. Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.
What an unnerving experience. You too, take care of yourself out there, Austin. Great job on your reporting. Thank you.
Let's talk about the traffic impacts. You know, the fire tonight caused a lot of congestion on the roadways. We had some road closures, and it looks like we are starting to see little by little some of these lanes reopen. So let's go ahead and check in on that.
Our Julia Kaufman live at the intersection of Tyvola and Park Roads, where they converge into Fairview Road, which runs right past the mall. Julia?
Yeah, we're about half a mile from where the fire happened for context, but you can see behind me the cones are now off the road. Police literally just reopened Fairview Road a couple minutes ago, and it is already helping greatly with congestion. Earlier, we were seeing backups in all directions. So for context, we're on Park Road, the intersection where Tyvola turns into Fairview Road, and Fairview was closed all day, both sides, and then they reopened one side, and we were still seeing tons of congestion as we creeped into rush hour. But now we're already seeing massive improvements on all sides. But it's important to note, although Fairview Road is now back open, the connecting streets near where the fire happened, so that's Liberty Row, Piedmont Row, closer to SouthPark Mall, they're still closed. So, like I said, we're already seeing much better conditions from just a few minutes ago from police opening up Fairview Road. But I would say Fairview coming from the mall, the westbound lanes, they are still pretty backed up. So if you are planning on hitting the road anytime soon, I would suggest avoiding the SouthPark area if possible. Vanessa, Fred.
All right, Julia, thank you so much.
And remember, this story is still unfolding as we speak. We are still waiting to learn much more, including how this all happened to begin with. As updates come into us, we'll send them right to you, right to your phone. All you have to do is download the WCNC mobile app for free, or you can visit our website, WCNC.com.